Hello and welcome to Pickleball Therapy, the podcast dedicated to your pickleball improvement. Hope you're having a great week and ready for the weekend. This week on the episode, we're going to be talking about a couple different things. We're going to be talking about the instruction manual of pickleball. Did you get one when you started playing? If not, how you playing pickleball? And then the second thing we're going to talk about in the riff, we're going to tackle the chainsaw serve, or more specifically, the new rules or the change to the rules in 2022 for the pickleball serve. Stay tuned for the podcast. So the verdict is in, and the paddle that CJ Johnson, myself, Tony Roig, and my wife Jill are all playing with is the new Icon paddle, a relatively new Icon paddle from Diadem Pickleball. We've actually been playing with this paddle for several months now, and we wanted to make sure it performed up to our expectations, and I got to tell you, this is an awesome paddle. It has some of the best playability of any paddle that we've ever played with, and Jill's arm that used to have to ice after she played no longer needs icing. So it's an awesome paddle. If you want to read more about the paddle, I'll link to the full review down in the show notes. And if you use the code VI Pickleball at Diadem Pickleball, you'll get our discount. If you decide to give the Diadem Icon paddle a try, send me an email, tony@wearepickleball.com, and let us know how it went. So when you started playing pickleball, did you get an instruction manual? Did someone hand you an instruction manual and say, here's how you play pickleball, here's everything you got to do, and good luck and enjoy the game? Or did you start playing and just kind of figure it out as you went along and somebody at the courts gave you a suggestion and things like that? I'm going to bet it was more the latter, more just kind of getting out there playing and then people telling you, okay, do this, okay, do that. Maybe you took a class here and there, maybe you watched some videos, whatever, but nobody really gave you an instruction manual on how to play this game. And it's kind of interesting if you think about it, because if you play board games and things like that, say you play Monopoly or you get invited to a friend's house to play any kind of a game, the first thing you're going to do is say, well, how do I play this game? What are the instructions? What am I trying to accomplish? Like trying to figure out how to play this game, right? What's the best way to play this game? And when we play pickleball, yes, we do learn the basics about how to score and who serves and things like that, but we don't really have an instruction manual for how to play the best pickleball game that we can play. That's something that comes over time. That's something that comes with time and game study and maybe some lessons and things like that. In fact, that's one of the reasons why CJ and I started We Are Pickleball to begin with, was to try and help pickleball players, get an instruction manual, right? To provide them an instruction manual that hopefully players could use to improve if that's what they wanted to. We're always clear about that. You play pickleball for whatever it is that it brings to you personally. So if it's socialization and friends and getting some exercise and you're not really that concerned about improving, that's perfectly fine. I'm betting if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably in a different camp. You probably do want to improve. You want to understand the game better. So we wanted to provide that kind of information. And what I wanted to do is share with y'all maybe a couple of stories about my personal growth and mine and Jill's personal growth and as pickleball players, so that you can understand, hopefully our stories will help you as you're working through your own game and working to improve yourselves. So Jill and I are both, my rating right now is 5.0 and change, or 5 point and change in mix and 5.0 and change in men's, I think it is. And I play senior pro. Jill's I don't know what her exact rating is online, but it's like probably high 4.5s. And she's a high 4.5, 5.0 player, and I'm a 5.0 player. And so, but we weren't always that, right? When we started playing, I would say we first little bit, probably 3.5 to 4.0 as we first started. And then, we had come from tennis, so we were probably 4.0s pretty quickly. And then, from 4 to 4.5 was a little bit of, we had to work at the game and get to know the game better. And then 4.5 to 5.0 has been, much more difficult because there's just not as much room to move, right? There's not as much, the things that you have to work on are a little bit harder to work on, and they're just, it's just a little bit more challenging. But what I wanted to share with you was a couple of stories that happened to us along the way. One of them in particular was, we were playing at a rec center that we would go to. It was a weekday evening kind of a thing. And they only had 2 courts. This was back in the day when, you were just, there would be, 25 people there in 2 courts. And so we're there, and these 2 gentlemen came in. It was a father and son group that came in. They were unknowns to the group at the rec center. They were traveling through town. But they played pickleball, and they said, they wanted to play pickleball. And so Jill and I, we were, if not the best players in the rec center, we were among the better players. So they basically sent us out there. They said, you guys go play them. So we go out there and we play them, and I think the game lasted like 3 minutes or something, or 4 minutes, and this is 11-0. We were done. And it was, at the time, a little frustrating, but in hindsight, tremendous gift that these players gave us, which is they showed us, they were basically hitting third shots into the corner of the NVZ or the corner of the kitchen each time, and then moving forward, and we didn't know what to do, so we would just either hit it out or attack them, and basically they just handcuffed us the whole time. They played a beautiful soft game that Jill and I simply weren't prepared to handle. And so, that was a great learning experience for Jill and I in terms of how to a different way of playing pickleball, or a different aspect of pickleball, different dimension, if you will, to the game. And it really helped us in our improvement. Another story was myself playing with a good friend of mine here in Tampa. We're playing another group of two of our friends. And we had played a lot. We used to play a lot of competitive matches together with each other. And so we're basically, we keep on getting past on the force shot that the opponents are hitting when so let me set it up. So me and my partner are on the serve team, and we're hitting our third shot, and then we're moving forward and we're getting past. Now we're not rushing forward. We already knew not to do that. We weren't just running up to the MVZ line, but we kept on getting past every time. And so we were like, that's okay. That's a little annoying, right? To keep going past and past. And so I told my partner, I said, listen, let's do this. Let's hit our third shot. Let's take 2 steps in the court. Then let them hit whatever they're going to hit. Then we hit our 5th shot, and then we move up. And at the time that we made that change, we were down like 7-2 in that game. And we made that change, and we won the game. And it just changed the entire dynamic of how we played. And those are little things that, like, basically like learning moments in my personal history playing pickleball. And what I've learned about pickleball, about improving in pickleball, is that, again, there is no like full instruction manual that we all get when we first start playing that we can just stick to, right? That we can just say, okay, I'm going to do this, and this to play the game better than I am, and as well as I want to. There are definitely resources out there. And for instance, We Are Pickleball. Again, we're proud of that resource that we offer. But our videos at Into Pickle, the videos at Better Pickleball, those are really good resources that you can know and you can use, and you can trust that when we put something out like that, we put it out we thought about it, and we put it out because we believe it's something that can help you with your game, and not just because we want to get traction on a video. And I'm not suggesting anybody does it intentionally, but we're not trying to get traction on our videos. We're trying to give you tools that'll help you improve as a pickleball player. So anyway, so those are resources that are available to you. But as you play, you're going to pick up a skill here, pick up a lesson there. You're going to play a game and just get obliterated like Jill and I did against the 2 gentlemen that came into the rec center. And what you should do with those situations is basically use those as learning opportunities, right? To basically continue to grow in this game. And again, one of the things that I've learned, and I think I really appreciate about pickleball, is that it really offers a lifetime of learning. If you're interested in improving as a pickleball player and just growing as a person, pickleball is just such a wonderful sport within which to do that. It's a sport that you can continue to add strategies, continue to add, your understanding of the game, continue to acquire different skills, improve on skills. Like for instance, can you hit I'm not telling you to run out and do this, right? But as an example, can you hit a lob shot off of a volley, right? Well, maybe you can, maybe you can't. But if you can't, right? And again, I'm not suggesting run out and do this. It's going to change your game. But let's say it's something you don't know how to do. Fine. Keep on doing what you're doing, right? Keep on your path, as we call it, right? Keep on your pickleball path. Keep learning, keep improving. But know that one day in the future, if you've mastered the other parts of the game, that lob volley is waiting for you. And it's a beautiful shot. I enjoy it a lot. But my point is that there's always something new to learn. Even myself, and Jill, we've been playing for years. Jill's really been working on her game lately, playing with some friends of hers, some nice competitive matches, and we chat about it afterwards and talk about the game, talk about what's happening here, how the game's evolving, how her game's evolving, how the opponents that she's playing are evolving, and so this lifetime opportunity to learn is just one of the aspects of pickleball that I think makes it, it's a lifetime activity, right? Something you'll hopefully enjoy for the rest of your life. And as you grow in the game, right, as you improve in the game, you'll start to see the game better, right? You'll start to understand the framework of the game better. And the key is that's how you basically build your instruction manual, right? So you don't get an instruction manual at the beginning of the game, but as you play, you start filling in the instruction manual of your game, and you start understanding the game better, you start seeing the game better, and that opens up additional chapters inside this instruction manual for you to complete. And that's what I want you to think about when you're out there working on your game, you're improving your game. Understand that this is a lifetime learning process, pickleball is, and if you treat it that way, I think you'll learn to enjoy not just the wins out there, because wins are fun, but you'll learn to enjoy your losses as well, and you'll be able to take something away from your losses when you play pickleball and continue to use that to better yourself as a pickleball player, and like we like to say, not just a pickleball player, also as a human being, which is a really important part of things. So hopefully that'll help you with your framework as you're out there sometimes winning and sometimes getting beat, filling in that instruction manual of your game. If you're interested in knowing what's going on with the 2022 serve rules in pickleball, stay tuned for the riff. You'd like to help your friend or family member learn how to play pickleball, but how? Now it's easy. Pick up a copy of Play Pickleball, A Beginner's Guide. It's the most complete guide to playing pickleball. Available as a digital download or in hard copy at intopickle.com or at Amazon. Let's keep growing the sport. This is our first episode in November. If it's our first episode in November, that means that the new rules for 2022 are out because the board met October 28th. So they met last week. And the rule that I want to focus on is a rule that it's not a rule that I'm concerned about because the rule that they adopted is fine. But there is an existing rule that it sits in our book, that sits on the pickleball rule book, that has the potential to create some significant mischief within our sport. And the rule is basically the ability to pre-spin the ball before you hit your serve. To be clear, there seems to be some confusion. We published a post, and I'll link to it down below, and I'll mention it again in a second, but I'll tell you how to get to it. But we published a post on this, and we've gotten several comments that say, why are you trying to get rid of the spin, right? Or we shouldn't get rid of the spin and things like that. No one is saying get rid of spins, right? I mean, the ball spins anyway when you hit it, so it's almost impossible to avoid spinning the ball when you hit the ball. What we're talking about here is we're talking about the ability to pre-spin the ball before you hit your serve. The most commonly understood, or the most commonly known one, was called the chainsaw serve, which was basically where players would run the ball along either their paddle or along their non-ball holding hand. Usually so what they would do is the hand that holds the paddle, they would run the ball up against the hand or the grip or the paddle to basically get the ball to start spinning. And then they would toss it as it was spinning, and then they would hit it. And what happens with that ball, if you haven't seen it, is basically the ball lands. The ball, as it lands, it basically jerks in an opposite direction. So say the ball is going from left to right. If the person who served it knows how to do this, what they're able to do is get that ball that's going left to right to all of a sudden break and all of a sudden go back to the left, right? So no longer going to the right, now it's going to the left. And what you'll see is receivers in the videos that we cite that we link in the post, just not just having a hard time hitting it, but in some cases either falling down or coming close to falling down. One of the serves in this sort of sphere of this world of pre-spun serves is actually nicknamed the ACL tear, right? So the anterior cruciate ligament tear, which I'm pretty confident if you got that, you wouldn't be laughing about that name. It's a catchy name, but whatever. It's not going to be great if it happens. But so the chainsaw serve got eliminated in the rules changes. But what's still there's no prohibition or no mechanism that limits a player's ability to, again, pre-spin the ball. I'm not talking about spin the ball after you hit it. Pre-spin the ball before making contact with the shot. And so that's something that has CJ and I have been talking about it. We wrote a very extensive article about this. Again, I'll link to it below. Take a look at it, see what you think. We did a survey about it, so let us know what you think, whether the the pre-spinning of the ball should be banned. There have been some concerns about, like, how do you police that, right? So do you, like, you can't really stop somebody from, like, how do you see how often or how much you're spinning it and things like that before they serve it? There are some suggestions in the blog post to deal with that as well. So anyway, it's something we're going to keep an eye on and see what how it starts to impact the game. If we knew it was going to stay in the rules forever, we would be remiss not to recommend to everybody to go out and immediately learn this serve, because it is a game changer. If you can spin the ball before you hit it, you can get free points and you're going to be able to win more games. So I think we wouldn't be doing you a service if we didn't recommend it to you. The only reason we're hesitant at this stage to fully recommend learning it is because there's a possibility that's going to go away, and so we're kind of in a limbo about it. So if you have time, you want to mess around with it, learn how to do it, let us know how it worked out for you. But in the meantime, we're gonna hold reservation on whether we should learn it. So we'll keep an eye on that for you and keep you posted on what happens with that. But it's an area of the game that we are concerned about, and we are going to keep an eye out, as we always do, to make sure to do the best that we can to advocate for the game, for the integrity of the game and the growth of the game. So anyway, that's the podcast for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like the podcast, please rate it and review it wherever you listen to it. And if you enjoyed the podcast, please share it with your friends. If you enjoyed it, they probably will too. Have a nice week, and we'll see you next time.